Oh, okay, so what area?
The whole wall, I think. I mean, like, okay, so this is our frame.
Yeah.
So.
But do you think this will cover the whole wall? Okay, maybe.
If not, I mean that's what the Aubuchon.
I believe it.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess it is one wall, and like I guess 4 times these 2 is probably 4 walls,
right?
Or like a gallon.
At the very least, I can just walk down and get more.
Do we want to start in a concentrated area?
Let me rip this out.
Or we just
maybe
paint
not.
over it.
Or we're just landlord on top of it. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Okay. Well, I mean, if we're gonna cover the whole wall, I guess it doesn't matter.
What is the like? I've never been really good at having a methodology for painting the wall. We could start in the middle, like a face, like how you're supposed to use foundation.
Well, you know you're supposed to do like that.
X's.
It's like a W shape because then it like kind of smooths it all out when you keep going over it.
That makes sense.
Oh my god, not you.
Oh, Frank.
No interruptions, please.
Okay.
Earlier I was in here working with the door closed, sitting in the chair, and I could hear her at the door, but I was like, I can't let her in and let her see me in this chair.
It's based on like the scratches on it. It has been another cat's chair before.
Yeah, it showed up like that, and that's why I was like, Fran, I didn't tell you to get me like a destroyed chair. It looked nice in a picture, but luckily it all worked out.
It did, yeah.
I was like, I would have left that on the street, but I was wrong.
Maybe that's why she likes it so much. Is she's like, this was taken from someone else.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to dump your can?
Whatever you think. Really.
Maybe we can each W. You can W there, and I can W here for a while.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Perfect.
Welcome to OK Games.
Finally. 18. A larger canvas.
Yes.
This is why you had to wait this long for the sequel.
We were building.
Well, I was studying the sword.
Yes.
One of those.
What have we been painting? Have you done any painting since?
No, painting's really something that I do. I don't know. I mean, I do everything rarely, you know?
That's not really true. You've been doing other mediums this year.
Yeah, but like, you know, like I'm always hopping around between them, so. Like, is there anything I've gotten good at?
Yeah, I think
Not like really good at. Not like I haven't significantly improved my skill in any particular medium.
You wouldn't think.
I guess what I'd say.
You wouldn't think you've improved your print making and stamping skill, or was that already like?
I think I've stayed at roughly the same level. I like know about more equipment and stuff now, but I don't know. I definitely have not carved anything lately. I mean, I think with the Adderall, I can probably like register things better. It can be a little neater. Yeah, sorry, I should have just dumped it all.
No, it's all right. It's let's be generous and careful. Gentle and careful.
I like the idea of generous and careful. Like, those aren't 2 words you usually hear together.
They're not really contradictory.
No, they're not.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah, it is a very strangely shaped wall. I need to start using this, Oh my god!
What?
That's not the color we picked! I don't know.
Oh, you got me!
It's working!
Yeah, it's actually looking great.
I'm
proud of painting to sell the Pope.
Yeah, wow. Painting to sell the Pope. I have a bridge to sell you from Brooklyn.
Do you think the Pope owns a bridge? Probably, in Vatican City. Vatican City's gotta have bridges.
Have you been to the Vatican ever?
Nope.
I went once. but I was a middle schooler, so it was like I was in my real a real edgelord phase, and I didn't care. You know, I was like.
When did you exit your real edgelord phase?
Very good point. But I like yelled a curse. I yelled like "fuck you" down the hallway or something.
Wow.
But
you weren't wrong.
It was really good pizza in the Vatican.
Oh, did they have a pizza shop inside the church?
No, in like the because it's like really big.
Oh, it's like a complex.
Yeah, it's like a little city.
Okay, so is the Vatican just like all of Vatican City?
Yeah. Well, no, but in the courtyard around the actual Vatican, there was a pizza place.
Yeah.
If I recall. I don't know.
The body of Christ.
Body of Christ.
Broken for you.
In a pizza oven. This might not be enough pain, but we're getting somewhere.
I think it's spread out marvelously.
It is definitely working as far as functionality goes. And the splotchiness around the edges looks really cool.
Yeah.
With the Sistine.
Imagine if Michelangelo were allowed to watch this from heaven or hell or wherever the fuck he is, just to be like, that took me months.
Yeah, like
how are they doing it?
This witchcraft, this technology, and like, but if he was in heaven, he would be able to like understand it, and he could have like a real. Like,
I don't know. Maybe heaven is just total lack of understanding. Like, ignorance is bliss.
Something I thought about today when I was setting up for this and getting the Sistine Chapel photo was, what would all these artists think about like copyright? Because like. Well, there was like a Reddit comment, like, does anyone have a high quality, capture? And it was like, from this web, yeah, go on.
Well, I mean, it was just earlier I was thinking about saying, oh, sure we have the IP for this? So.
I mean, it's a good point.
Well, I think I've talked about this before, but like, are people who were like writers and artists and whatever all had like patrons, you know?
Yeah.
Like no one was like.
No one was broke.
Well, no one was like the income, like the money they got was not at all related to like the number of people who consumed the product, you know?
Right. Oh yeah, because it was for. I mean, he had commissions, obviously. He was a commission-based artist.
Mm-hmm.
And all those guys who did the, like, portraits of the kings or whatever. You're right. It's not like people were, like, going and looking at them.
Like, really, I read this very short, kind of bad book about ancient libraries. And, like, most ancient libraries were private libraries. But, like, kind of exclusively. Like, not just anyone could use them. Not just because of literacy reasons. But, like, the only people that made copies on the number of, or, like, made money on the number of copies of a book, or whatever, scroll, I don't know, in existence, were the people who, like, did the copying and rewrote it. And then sold it, because they're like, look, I have another one.
That's actually, I mean, that's cool. That's printmaking history. Those people had a artistry of their own.
At that point, they were actually just writing it by hand.
Oh, yeah. Like the,
And then Gutenberg, like, really blew the whole fucking thing open.
Oh. We don't talk about him enough. Or maybe we do.
Well, I imagine he probably wasn't actually the first person with the printing press, right?
Well, it seems like a concept that would, like, come up.
Yeah.
Of that kind, probably. Like a mechanized or whatever?
I don't know.
Or that side. But it's not a hard thing to think of. But then again, we get exposed.
I don't know. There is like a museum of printing presses in eastern Massachusetts that I would like to go to one day.
Patrons. Something else to say about patrons. Oh, was the Library of Alexandria private or public?
It definitely. I'll dig up the book. It might even be in that box because it definitely was something.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like I've seen tweets or something. That should be verified. That was like the Library of Alexandria wasn't even real, you dumb fucks.
Oh my god.
So it's like, okay, we gotta do some Wikipedia research.
You can't just say that. You can't just say Charlie Brown had hose. You have to say your source.
Charlie Brown did have hose. I haven't watched much Charlie Brown stuff because honestly, the kid kind of creeps me out.
Really, I think he's cute.
Do you like Caillou? To me.
Do you think Caillou's creepy?
I think I've been forced to spend time around Caillou less. Okay. But I think it's both. I think maybe it's that Charlie Brown and friends are both bulbous and scraggly. You know. I don't know.
There's that kid with the flies coming off.
Yeah, I mean, that line, yeah. I mean, he made kind of the most sense to me out of all of them. I don't know. It's really hard to put my finger on it. I also didn't like the, Simlish or whatever they were saying.
Oh, the parents? Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, which I think, I've gathered that many people think is, a pretty charming Charlie Brown thing. Not me.
I mean, it has odd implications. I was always what does that mean they're saying? You know? You always are does that mean they're cursing at him? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just too language-based, but I was
I do like Snoopy a lot, though. How do you feel about Snoopy?
Oh, well, I mean, he's a dog, so I don't expect anything of him. He's the character who, if I see, on a lunchbox or something,
you're just yeah.
I'm okay, yeah.
He's amazing, though, I think.
In what way? Because he has a typewriter?
He's a typewriter. He can fly a plane.
You know what they say about monkeys and typewriters.
What do they say? They write Shakespeare?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Snoopy may have done that.
Yeah. He's
back recently. I wonder if they're
something of a folk hero.
I wonder if they're putting something out, because I've been seeing a lot of Snoopy stuff lately.
Well, I mean, around the holidays, you always get the Charlie Brown Carnival again.
Christmas. I've never seen The Great Pumpkin, even though...
I think I have maybe seen the Christmas one, and it was also a thing where my family didn't really, invest time into the Charlie Brown stuff, so I haven't actually seen that much of it. I just know that what I have has left me deeply uncomfortable.
You know what's a piece of media I actually don't think I know your opinion on, which is really interesting?
Okay.
Did you ever read the Harry Potter books?
I did read the Harry Potter books.
Did you like them?
I mean, I found them enjoyable.
Oh, wait, we have talked about this because of the J.K. Rowling faker you told me about. What? Or no. The person who J.K. Rowling may have stolen the entire story from.
Oh, yeah, Jane Yolen.
Yeah. Okay, so we have actually talked about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that... I don't know. I don't have overwhelming feelings about Harry Potter. Obviously, I think J.K. Rowling's a piece of shit.
I think I do have overwhelming feelings about it. Negative.
I mean, I think it's corny. I don't love everything that's going on in there.
Yeah. And
it's also not something I've found the time to get really excited about in any significant way, positive or negative. I did write a book review of the last one.
Ooh.
That was published in a contest. in the paper.
The review.
Yeah.
What was your?
I think my review of the book and like overall the whole series was basically like, it's fine.
Read
like,
to your 9-year-old.
It's kind of silly.
Yeah.
But whatever. I guess if you had fun.
I hope they never remake the movies.
Aren't they already trying to?
Oh.
I think I'd heard that. I am, I guess, proud of the Harry Potter actors for mostly distancing themselves from, or like rather publicly disagreeing with J.K. Rowling.
Yeah. Well, the whole sort of circus of the movies had like real like early Disney vibes, where it was like the kids are gonna grow up on screen, and like Stranger Things, the kids are gonna grow up on screen.
A kind of fucked up thought I had was like, I wonder if they got like one of those like I don't even know, like police like artists to find missing children or whatever to like project what the kids were gonna look like that they were casting in like 10 years to make sure they'd be hot. Like I kind of feel they would have.
Yeah, no, of course. I think that like that must be where most of that technology has been for the past. Like, you think Disney is like paying for kids to get braces just to find out that they have like, I don't know, bad bone structure? Hell no.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you gotta make sure the bones are good before you invest.
But then, you know, there's always things that happen that you don't expect.
Well, yeah, they didn't expect Daniel Radcliffe to stay short, is my prediction.
That makes sense.
For instance, just to throw something out there.
Somebody under the bus there.
I mean, you know, some people like that.
Not really do very much else interesting. What else have any of them?
The police sketch artist held up a fucking like projection, a computer model of Emma Watson, and this was back in like 1998 or whatever they were casting it, and there she was on the stage up Brown.
I forgot she went to fucking Brown. Does she have a degree?
I think so. I think she did. Can't stand in front of the UN and say kind of shallow feminist things without a degree. Back you up. That was being mean.
Well, an interesting question that I have as a follow-up is that BTS spoke at the UN. Do they have degrees? In K-pop.
I mean, they wrote the book on K-pop. There was no one available to teach them. No, that's also a lie. I don't want to be ahistorical about the proud history of K-pop.
I don't know too much.
I mean, I don't know either, but it's definitely been there. Yeah, maybe I should look it up right now.
Cultural like pop music stuff is really interesting.
In what way?
Well, because like it has so much to do with like mass media and like the ability to record.
Yeah.
You know, I mean synthesizers and things like that. Like not needing like a trained instrumentician or whatever.
A musician?
A musician. But and it also has so much to do with, for that reason, with like Western export. But also, it's always so sick, and it's always like, who's the girly? Who's the Troye Sivan?
Do we need to paint this? Do you think?
No. I think that we should I think I should get an electrician to put a cord on the other side of the room as a long term, and then as a short term, it'll just be the, I don't know, safety cord that I can't ever pull.
Okay. Cool. Something. Yeah. Good workaround.
I had an idea for it. What was it? It was like, it could be like the cord to the phone. I don't know. My neighbor
had a thought and or a question.
Yes.
But I'm really struggling for it.
Take your time.
Yeah, no, it's gone.
Okay. Does that need a question?
What's it about? Bands? K-pop? What Wikipedia page?
K-pop history.
What was the first Wikipedia page? Something I learned reading someone's Wikipedia page.
Oh,
you know what? No, none of that entirely. You need to look up the Library of Alexandria.
Oh, yeah. If it was
You
public or
know,
not.
here's a little library fun fact. Maybe I've said this before. But something I found out. Well, when I was a TA, and they were always giving me ancient history classes. Mm-hmm. I don't really know why, but I think it's because I expressed interest in technology, so they just kept giving me
They're like, learn about
early science,
where it came from, the original.
Yeah.
They're like, you must want to know about the wheel.
You're like, so you love Aristotle, right? And trying to spread it out, but I might in fact be doing something deeply and helpful. But I'm glad to see that it is good enough for the picture. K-pop. Guys. Oh yeah, no. So there was like a whole thing. I forget. Maybe it was Plato's school. One of those guys had like a school in ancient Rome that was very popular. Big deal school, whatever. Yeah, and
it's gonna be like this forever, guys.
Well, no, there was like an idea that like one particular guy would be his successor, and he, in his will, which I guess they had back then, left all of his books, his library, essentially the library of the school, to this guy. But the structure of the school was such that there was like kind of like a board of directors type thing going on, and they voted, and I think maybe everyone thought this guy was kind of a brown noser, or they were jealous or something. So they in fact did not make him the next headmaster.
That's what the fuck happens. Someone dies, and
it's like
you can't control it once you're dead.
It's like
you're dead.
So then, here, let's get this up here, and I can do that too.
Okay.
Just give you your wrists a little break.
Oh, sure.
And let's take this tiny bit of green off with my finger.
Okay, so they.
Oh, okay, and so this other guy got elected. Whatever.
Plato too.
And this guy felt really salty about the whole deal. The one that didn't get elected.
Who was supposed to be the original.
Yeah. And so what he did was he fucked off to Crete with all of the books. He was like, well, I'm taking my library then. And so he took all of the books in the school to Crete with him.
That's fucking petty.
It is, but you know what's also kind of funny? I want to say that there was some big fire or something. Maybe I'm just saying fire because of the Library of Alexandria. There was everything got totally destroyed. The books would have been destroyed if the guy hadn't fucking brought them to Crete. You know? And that's what we call God's plan.
Yeah, that's like some real karma. He, you know...
that's in Taylor Swift's song.
Yeah. That guy was like, fuck this. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, right?
I want to read that story from the beginning, too.
Yeah, let me find the actual facts. No one quote me on any of this.
There's always freaking fires with those books. They weren't very careful.
Yeah, I mean, maybe papyrus is really flammable. It had pretty loose grasp of the natural sciences at that point in some ways. Like, you know, it's illegal to dissect people. So,
yeah.
Everyone was just sort of guessing about what was going on inside.
They're like, maybe books won't burn.
Which, I mean, I think Leonardo da Vinci was a grave robber because he was like, fuck it, let me have them bodies.
And thank goodness he did. There's some in the caps, which is kinda,
okay.
I think we're gonna make it on these too, and maybe I'll get like an extra.
Yep. No, I mean like that's the full radius, right? We could neaten it up and like whatnot, but in terms of your green screen, you got the biggest green screen in town.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, maybe Northampton Open Montague.
Yeah, community television sponsor, likely player of this program.
Great.
I saw Deirdre today, and she was like, "You work here too?"
It's like kind of, the opposite of like Pokemon, where there's like a policewoman Jenny in every town. Instead, like you go into every restaurant and it's just you working there in one town.
Waitress lives in Turner Fall. Oh, great
It's a calling.
With our invasive Pokemon species.
Yeah, I mean, God's plan.
All right, well, that looks great.
It certainly looks like the Sistine Chapel. It certainly looks like what I saw at the Big E.
Does it
in
look like
2017?
Should we do it? No.
Oh,
careful. Oh, it's shiny because it's drying where his hand is. Do you see that?
Oh, you think it's because it's drying, or do you think it is maybe a little
shiny? A little flat. Not that.
Right in the center? I mean, No? Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, maybe it's just that it's drying.
I guess I'll find out in like an hour. For tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, enough.
It makes it look more like the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, though.
Yeah.
It's full of sweat from hundreds of years.
Imagine being the person who's in charge of restoring the Sistine Chapel.
Oh my God.
They should get that lady that did Jesus in Spain. Honestly, it would become so much more popular worldwide.
She could put crazy heads on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
God doesn't need to look that good.
I mean, it's like the odds God looks like that.
No. God probably has tech neck.
Listen, it was the freaking Christians who translated God as a man.
Mm.
So.
Yeah. And what the fuck did they know? How much?
They were sort of like, let's piece together all these accounts from all of these different guys and like, just let everyone decide. It's like a real shape of the elephant sort of thing. Or whatever it was. Okay.
That's all I got.
Guess we have to find another Walgreens.
Yes. Thank you very much. Well, what is his hand doing in the photo?
I mean,
we don't have to do it.
It's if I were reaching, I guess maybe I would make a hand pose like that.
Yeah, if it's like across the sky, He's like.
I mean, and it's like kind of funny because
it's a really
just to do a little art criticism. Yeah. It's like you think God would not have to strive very hard to touch anything, and you think that if you were not God, maybe you would not be laying back completely.
It's a real maybe it was a comment about maybe Michelangelo was putting something kind of backwards in there. That
I did read The Agony and the Ecstasy in like 8th grade or something, but I totally forget what they said about it.
All right, and with that review,
that's it.
Thank you. Okay, eat it.